and another part. This time it's red. Let's not lose my voice while we go through red cards in a limited perspective. First we have Aggravate. 5 mana, deals 1 damage to each creature target player controls, and each creature dealt damage this way attacks this turn if able. I like this card a lot. I don't know why I really do. It can certainly ruin someone's day, that's for certain. I don't think it's amazing, but I like it. Next you have Archwing Dragon, which for once we don't have big stupid mythic dragon. Again, the whole set is designed about big stupid mythic angels, but this is a dragon I can get behind. It's a 4 mana for a 4/4, flying haste. At the beginning of the end step, return it to its owner's hand. I think it's pretty cool. I like this a lot better than all the other stupid dragons. Next you have Banners Raised, a bad instant. Don't play it. Move on. Now we have Battle Hymn. Bad instant. Move along. Next we have the best card to get in the set, Bonfire of the Damned. This is just absolutely nuts. If you open this card at any point in Limited, you should play it. The end. Don't you splash it. If you already splashed another color, I don't know why you are, but you splash for this card anyway. This is just amazing. Next, I have a card that I really like flavor-wise, is Burn at the Stake. 2 colorless, 3 red. As an additional cost, tap any number of untapped creatures. It deals damage to target creature or player equal to 3 times the number of creatures tapped this way. I think it's a pretty decent finisher. If you get it early on in a draft, you can build around it, which is pretty cool. And in Sealed, if you can build something with it, pretty nice. Next, we have Dangerous Wager. 2 mana, discard your hand, then draw 2 cards. I think it's okay, because in Limited, you end up with 1 to 2 cards near the end of like, turn 5 or 6. Oftentimes, depends on the deck, of course. But Dangerous Wager, certainly something worth considering. Otherwise, it's a bad instant. Demolish is sideboard, destroy target artifact or land. Not amazing. Better for the destroy target artifact. Then we have Dual Casting, which I love the art for. Which is colorless red, enchant creature. It has red tap, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets. This is the first copy spell that I really like. Because it allows for some more shenanigans in plays, and 1 red to copy spells is a lot cheaper than 2 or more that they've had in the past. Next you have Falconmouth Exterminator, colorless red for a 1/1 that when it deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it pings stuff. Definitely a good card. There's a reason why it's uncommon, and you don't even have to tap it. So this guy can just run away with the game. Great card in red. Next you have Fervent Cathar. 3 mana for a 2/1 haste. When it enters the battlefield, target creature can't block. It's okay. I mean, I like Crossway Vampire better because this has that 1 toughness, but still, it's fine. Good if you're going aggressive. Gang of Devils is a 6 mana 3/3. When it dies, it deals 3 damage, divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures and or players. So this is the sort of upgrade to Pitchburn Devils. 1 mana more, same power, you just get to choose if it's divided. And it's okay. 5 mana is a lot easier than 6, but it's still alright if you need a heavy drop. Next you have Guise of Fire. Red, target creature gets +1/-1 and attacks each turn if able. I count this as a removal spell against any X1s. Definitely something to consider. Next you have Handwear Lancer, 2 colorless red for a 2/2 soul bond. That gives first strike. This guy I like a lot. He's pretty good within soul battle. First strike's pretty big. Next we have Havengul Vampire, 4 mana 2/2. When it deals combat damage to a player, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever another creature dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. It's not nearly as good as Lumberknot, but it's still decent. Lumberknot was so much more powerful because of the hexproof. They could kill it when it was pretty weak. Then we have Heirs of Stromkirk, 2 colorless red for 2/2 Intimidate. That when it deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. If you're going pretty aggressive, it's pretty good. It's a decent vampire. Next you have Hound of Gristlebrand, which is... there's a reason why it's rare. It's a 4-mana 2/2 double strike with Undying. So it's basically a 4/4 for 4, and then a 6/6 for 4 when it has Undying. Great card if you're playing red, something to consider. Next you have Keswick Malcontents. 3 mana for a 3/1. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to target player equal to the number of humans you control. If it was creature or player, it would be a lot better. Otherwise, I mean, enters the battlefield, pings them for 1, maybe 2. But there's a lot of red humans, so Boros humans is certainly a possibility. Next we have Cruin Striker. Colorless red for a 2/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, it gets +1/+0 and trample. If you're going aggressive, it's fine. If you're going humans, just because it's another human. But as you can see, X1s are important in this format. Next you have Lightning Mauler. Colorless red for a 2/1 that has Soulbound, and both creatures have haste. This guy is one of my least favorite of the Soulbound guys. He's not that good. You can haste out another guy for 2 more mana, but meh. Next you have Lightning Prowess, an enchantment I really like, because enchanted creature has haste and ping stuff. 3 mana for a pinger, or for the ability to ping stuff, is pretty good, especially if you can attack it on something big and they can't kill it right away. Next we have Mad Prophet, who is a 2/2 for 4, haste, that is reverse looting, which is of course nowhere near as good. You first discard, then draw, but it still is not that bad. Definitely a card I like. Next we have Malicious Intent. Colorless red for enchant creature, tapped target creature can't block. Bad enchantment, move along. Next we have Malignus. 5 mana for a star, whose power and toughness is equal to half of the highest life total among your opponents rounded up, and damage dealt by this guy can't be prevented. Yeah, he's pretty good. I like this guy. He's, you know, if you're playing super aggressive and they're like at 12 life, right, it's still a 6/6 for 5. Not bad. Next you have Pillar of Flame. Good removal spell. Deals 2 damage and can exile creatures, which is why it's a sorcery and not an instant. Good card. Next you have Raging Poltergeist. 5 mana for a 6/1. Don't play it. Too many deal 1 damage effects. Next you have Reforged the Soul. 5 mana or Miracle 2 to each player discards his or her hand and draws 7 cards. Wow. It's okay. Not spectacular, not good. Miracle, the problem is if you draw it and you haven't played a lot. Anyway, next you have Riot Ringleader. 3 mana for a 2/2 that whenever it attacks, human creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Great finisher if you're, or a great card if you're playing Boros humans. Next you have Rite of Ruin. 7 mana. Each player choose an order for artifacts, creatures, and lands. Then they sacrifice 1 of the first, 2 of the second, 3 of the third. For 7 mana, meh. I don't like it very much. Next is Rush of Blood, a decent instant, not very much. It's 3 mana, target creature gets +X/+0, where X is its power. Next we have Scalding Devil, 2 mana for a 1/1 that for 3 damage pings players. Not as good as Goblin Fire Slinger, and it's not good. Next we have Somber Vigilante, holding a rapier. 1 mana 1/1, whenever it becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to that creature. It's not that bad in the early game, but as a whole, it's not great. Next we have Stonewright, my actual least favorite Soulbound guy. It's a 1 mana for a 1/1 that both creatures have fire breathing. Next you have Thatcher Revolt, 3 mana, put 3 1/1 haste guys, then sacrifice them. I don't like it very much. I mean, if you had a ton of humans to abuse with it, it's fine. Otherwise, no. Thunderbolt is great removal, 3 damage to target player, or specifically 4 damage to target creature with flying. With so many angels running around, definitely a powerful card. Thunderous Wrath as well, 5 mana to target creature or player, with or without Miracle. Great card. Tybalt is one I have no idea how to judge. There's never been anything like him, but it really seems like he's something you might want to try out if you've got plenty of red to back him up. Next you have Tyrant to discard. 7 mana 7/7. That when it enters the battlefield, target opponent chooses a permanent at random and sacrifices it. If it's a non-land, repeat. That's I would play it for 7/7 for 7. Great finisher. Uncanny Speed plus is 2 mana for target creature gets +3/+0 in haste. Not that good. Scalding Devil, if you're super aggressive, is fine. Otherwise, don't consider it too much. Vigilante Justice, 4 mana for whenever a human enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. If you've got Boros humans, so powerful, and it combos so well with Thatcher Revolt. And lastly, Zealous Conscripts, a card you should splash for. It's a 3/3 haste for 5 that when it enters the battlefield, gain control of target permanent, untap it, it gains haste. Super powerful. Splash this card if you have to. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe.